Yo, how's it going everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and welcome to another review of the Pokemon Journeys series. After a couple weeks off, Pokemon Journeys is back with episode 73, and this episode involves Ash and Go heading to the Galar region to find a Phalanx. We also have an Ice-Cube on his little wacky adventure during this episode. So how was the episode overall? Well, before I get into the episode review, you know the drill. If you're new to the channel and you like this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It would be pretty awesome if you did that. Alrighty, let's get on to the review. So for the first part of this review, I want to talk about Ice-Cube and its wacky adventure throughout this episode. So Ice-Cube over here is just very unfortunate as it has all kinds of bad luck. It just keeps getting into a lot of bad luck. Because the episode starts out with it hanging out with its family and presumably the Crown Tundra of the Galar region. Or at least an ice region in the Galar region. Not really sure exactly where this is at. But anyways, Ice-Cube is hanging out with its family, but ends up drifting out into the sea on a piece of ice, which eventually melts away. It ends up on a beach, which I presume is near the Isle of Armor, or somewhere close. I'm not really sure, because it seems like this place has some civilization here, but it ends up running into a Galarian Slowpoke, but it ends up destroying its ice block. And immediately sees an ice cream stand in which this lady's getting some ice cream for some kids, throws a block of ice in there, and steals the ice block. And the lady just throws Ice-Cube up in the air, and it just conveniently lands in the back of a truck. Very convenient. And luckily it landed on that, because otherwise it would have been a rough landing. Now, as lucky as it was for Ice-Cube to land in the back of this truck, it actually ends up falling out of the truck and into a nearby river, goes down the river, ends up thinking it's about ready to go down a waterfall, and it hits a rock and it just slides off, and it bounces off a tree and just blasts itself off. So, yeah, this Ice-Cube is having quite a day, that's for sure. So more on Ice-Cube in a little bit. Let's talk about Ash and Go. So the whole reason why Ash and Go get interested in Phalanx in the first place is because they're hanging out at the Sakuragi labs feeding their Pokemon, and their Pokemon basically get in a line to get food. And this reminds Professor Sakuragi of Phalanx in the Galar region. And Ash and Go get curious about this Pokemon, and of course, Professor Sakuragi over here, he's got infinite money. So he's like, yeah boys, go ahead, go find this Pokemon in the Galar region. I got loads and loads of money, you just don't know how much money I got. Seriously, how does this guy just afford to send these kids all over the world? All jokes aside, Ash and Go arrive in the Galar region, and shortly after they arrive, they're looking for Phalanx, and Go ends up running across a Galarian Stunfisk. I almost called it a Galarian Farfetch for some reason. Anyways, they run into this Pokemon, and Go, being Go, catches it on the first try. And just like that, we're moving on. So anyways, right after this, we actually run across a Phalanx. And I like Phalanx. It's pretty neat. It's basically a 6-in-1 Pokemon where the one in front is a leader, and the other 5 basically follow its commands, and they work in sync with one another. So as long as they're working in sync, they should be pretty effective in battle, which we get to see a Phalanx take out a boulder pretty easily in one shot, which was pretty cool to see. But we end up running across another Phalanx. This one, it's not in sync. It's not in good formation at all either. Tries to attack Ash and Go, it doesn't work. Ash has Pikachu use Thunderbolt, attacks Phalanx, knocks it out, and actually separates all of it. The leader ends up going down a hill, Go chases after it while Ash takes care of the rest of the Phalanx. Now I like what Ash and Go do here. They basically realize that the Phalanx is not in sync with one another. They saw the previous one do really well in battle, and this one not so well. So they decide to help out the Phalanx, with Go helping out the leader by bringing out his Pokemon, Cinderace, Raichu, the fire and water monkey from the Unova region, and Grookey, end up helping it out, and they act as the other 5, basically a substitute for the other 5. And at first they're unsuccessful, but over time, or I guess over like a few minutes I should say, it ends up actually working out. And Phalanx over here, the leader of the Phalanx, actually learns to basically work in sync with the other Pokemon as a result. On the other hand, Ash has Pikachu act as the leader, and the other Phalanx basically follow Pikachu all the time, and this is kind of a recurring gag in the episode where a bunch of Pokemon are just following Pikachu, and Pikachu is not having it. And they eventually learn to follow the leader, I guess you should say. I'd say Go is a little bit more effective here than Ash, but both of them had played their roles here, which was pretty nice. So they end up reuniting the Phalanx. And shortly after they reunite, that's when Ice-Cube shows back up and collides with Phalanx. Phalanx gets mad, and it's basically Phalanx versus Ice-Cube. And at first, Ice-Cube is actually doing pretty good, as Phalanx is still kind of working on basically their sync with one another. It's not exactly working at first, they're struggling a bit, but eventually, as the battle goes on, they get more and more in sync with one another until they're basically in perfect sync. And they end up defeating Ice-Cube, and actually ends up destroying its ice block head. And it's pretty upset and runs away. And as a result, Phalanx decides to go with Go. So Go catches Phalanx, Ash and Go head back to the Galar region, and that's where the episode comes to an end. Not exactly yet. So what about Ice-Cube over here? Ice-Cube hasn't exactly been having a very good day. Ice-Cube ends up going back to the ocean and actually swims back to its homeland, wherever that's at, whether it's a Crown Tundra or just the ice area in the Galar region. Not really sure, but it eventually gets its ice block head back, and it reunites with its family. So a pretty wholesome ending to this episode. Despite Ice-Cube over here having a pretty bad day, it eventually went back to its family and friends, and everything's cool now. Yay. So overall, I thought this was a pretty fun episode. It's alright, nothing too special, but a pretty entertaining episode overall. I like the fact that both Ash and Go were helping out Phalanx here, with Go helping out the leader and Ash helping out the rest. Granted, Go probably had the most effect here. It took a little bit of time, but Go was able to help the leader out, getting itself in sync with the other Phalanx. And Ash did the same, though Pikachu wasn't too happy about it. But I really like what they did here, and I think, in my opinion, Go did deserve this capture, because he worked and bonded with this Pokemon. Even though it was part of this Pokemon, not the whole Pokemon. He at least bonded with it, so I think Go deserved this Pokemon. Though I do think Ash also deserved the Pokemon as well, but you know, he's not the one that's catching all the Pokemon, so let's just give it to Go. Also, can we appreciate Ice-Cube in this episode? The main plot here is Ash and Go going to the Galar region to find a Phalanx. But Ice-Cube over here kind of stole the show at times. I mean, for a portion of the first part of the episode, it was a main focus, and it was just having so much bad luck. And it was very entertaining watching this Pokemon getting in a bunch of shenanigans. It was hilarious, and I think they did a pretty good job with this Pokemon in this episode, if I'm being completely honest. So hopefully this isn't the last time we see an Ice-Cube in the series, or maybe Go catches one later down the road, maybe the same one shows up again. I don't know. I don't think they're going to be doing this type of episode with Ice-Cube again, but it was pretty neat seeing this little guy in the episode. It was very entertaining in my opinion. Alrighty guys, that's all I got for this episode review. So overall, pretty fun episode, a decent episode. I'd say it's good enough for either a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. So guys, in the comment section down below, what do you think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Post your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I'll talk to you guys later. You have a great day or night wherever you're at. Be safe, whatever you're doing, and peace.